أعوذ بالله من الشيطان. Assalamu alaikum. Again, we're at Masjid al-Mu'minun, and we're continuing our series of interviews with the pioneers of our community. Today is May the 28th, 2010. And also today we have with us a pioneer and Haji, Sister Ikrimah Sabilillah Fleming. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us. And we believe this is a very important part of our community life, is to get a chance to talk to individuals who've been around the community a long time and catalog these interviews. And alhamdulillah, you're next on the list.
Alhamdulillah. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Shukran. First, we'd like to know your family life with your parents and what part of the city you grew up in, and or if you did grow up in the city of Memphis.
Yes, I did grow up in the city of Memphis, in the community called New Chicago. And I went to Manassas High School. I started there at the time. And there was no kindergarten. We went straight, we started school at 6 years old. And you went, you didn't go to kindergarten. So I started at Manassas at 6 years old in the first grade. And I continued at Manassas High School all through my high school years. I graduated fourth grade there at Manassas. I left Memphis a few times. First I tried living in Chicago with an aunt, and after I was there for a while and thought I might make it my home, well, I got a job at Beale, and on the way home from work, one payday was a Friday, and I could cash my little check, and it was on the bus coming home, and it was crowded. I was standing up, and someone picked my pocket in a purse, and he or she took all my money when I got out. I went to the cleaners to get my clothes out, and I looked in my purse, and I didn't have any money, so I knew then that either I had lost it, I didn't know too much about pocket picking. It was young and green from Memphis, Tennessee, Chicago's always been fast and, a hoodlum town, I would say. So when I got home, they told me what had happened. She said, well, somebody had picked your pocket, in my house.
We would like to go back and experience some of your youth. Mm-hmm. What was it like in your parents' home? How many siblings?
I had one brother.
Mm-hmm.
My mother had 3 children. I was the oldest. She had 2 girls and 1 boy. I was the oldest. The girl, my brother, is the second. He's next. And she had another daughter that died in infancy. I just called the field there. So I didn't get to know my little sister. So my brother and I grew up together. And being the oldest, I was, we were really close, and I was real protective of my brother. So I'm the big sister, I look out for him. So it went on like that until we graduated high school, and then, we started, I guess, to pull away from, being close to his sister. He went on to other things and had a girlfriend, and we went to separate high schools because at the time we started busing children from different neighborhoods. Like after a time when I was in about the 10th grade, we had moved to Hollywood. There's another from New Chicago to Hollywood. My mother lived out there, so the children could either go to Douglas School or get a bus and continue to bus and go to Manassas European School until you finish school. But my brother didn't care about going to Douglas, so I had made all friends at Manassas. So I didn't want to go to Douglas. I wanted to complete and graduate from Manassas, which she let me do. You know, she paid bus fare so that I could ride the bus back and forth until I finished at Manassas.
What was your church experience like?
My church experience, I was Baptist. I sang in the choir, and I remember before I used to go to church with my mother every Sunday. At least we went to Sunday school, go to 11 o'clock service, and we had something called WMQM every Sunday evening. And then came the time when, you know, we got of age. I guess I was about 11 or 12, and then it was the revival time. You know, it was time to, you know, really show your faith and come to age to being a Christian or not Christian. So my brother and I was on the bench, and you know, the preacher was preaching and moving out and it's hard out. So, you know, it's a bunch of us, you know, young children. And so I really believe, you know, the ones who got up before I did were just, you know, just got up, you know, so that to get it over with. Because I know that's what I finally did, because everybody had gotten up, even my brother, before I did. And so the preacher was preaching hard and right over me, and I was crying. So, you know, I got up, you know, and said, you know, I forget the word now, whatever it was, but I got off from on the bench. And so that following Sunday, we were baptized. And I remember there was no pool. There was a lake where we went to, and we were back and went out in the lake, and they, you know, how they do. And so when I went on the, you know, I guess I didn't hold my breath because I breathed and I was, you know, strangled. I almost strangled. So
what impact
it was not a good experience for me. So
tell us about the impact your pastor had on your life. Tell us about the impact your pastor had on your life.
Well, at that age, my pastor really didn't have too much of an impact because, let's say, I just went to service. And my mother did too, you know, she didn't talk a lot about, you know, right and wrong and this and that. She used to go to church, took us to church as it's supposed to do, you know, like she said, bring up your child in the way that, you know, God says, and he will not stray from it, you know. So she just did her part with that. She was not much of a Holy Ghost person herself, and to teaching, you know, this is wrong, this is right. She just had her own way of raising us. So we didn't get much, you know, take pride in as far as religion and, you know, going to church.
What was your community life like coming up with you?
Well, my community life was, I would say it was pleasant. I had no problem because at that time, during those times, teenagers and young people in the community, we kind of stick together. There was not much to do except, you know, you go to church, you be in the choir. Most of my friends, we were in the choir. I was in the choir. We were like, you know, having the robe on and singing in the choir because there was something to do. But outside of that, when, you know, I had finished high school and I was totally not going to church very much, and then my fears were into going to the stadiums and something. So my mother was living with her aunt at the time, and my aunt was very strict. We couldn't go to stadiums, we couldn't do anything like the other children were in the neighborhood. So at that point, my life was really very strict, and, you know, I felt bad because I was teased because, you know, I couldn't go out and have fun at the stadium or something, you know. And most of the children were not into drinking or, you know, sex or anything like that. We just were out later than my aunt would allow us to come into the house. So that, you know, was the most unpleasant thing about my growing up. But as I went on, you know, I met, I had a boyfriend who had heard about Islam, and
what was his name?
He was Brother James Smith. And he was telling me about Islam, and
About what year was that?
that was about, it had to be in the 50s, about 55.
So you first heard about Islam in the 50s. Approximately, we didn't ask you, but we do want to know what's your birthday.
And my birthday is November 22nd, 1935.
Okay. So about 19, in your 50s, first heard about Islam. How did that message impact you?
Well, it really, yes, it really impacted me. I was very, it was something new. It's kind of like what I would like to do, even in the church, I didn't go for all this, even in college, religion, and this and that, I'm more or less listening for in church for a message, and after I got older and the message was not, what I thought it should be, and I got kind of disinterested in the church. I guess that's why a lot of teenagers, stopped going to church, because I didn't like too many crying more, because, well, most of all my friends had stopped, and they were going to church, stay in and that didn't. So this boy friend told me about Islam and how it was different from Christianity, and now they're it's more like, well, in a way, nationalism with a religion in it, and a way of life as opposed to religion, how we had been as African Americans and been taught, slavery type teachings, and there was something better for us and way to think about life.
So his dialogue method to you was he was patient, he just explained things to you in detail.
Right. As he had was explained to him what he got, because he was in California and there's this Mexican and he came back, he wanted to come back and teach family. So he was teaching me and telling me about it. So, and then as it was, I was one of the ones who Sister Shai's came. At that time, we were close. I got to meet her, and we were close because her husband was actually one that would have a place on Beale Street that was teaching of their life. And one thing would come back to tell me about. He had heard it too. So they had a place down in Beale Street where the Sunday they would invite young people around about this new teaching and going on.
There was originally Masjid 55, Mosque number 55.
Well, that was way before now, number 55.
Oh, okay.
Mosque 55, they're not coming from
10
this one.
years.
It was about, at least 5 to 7 years later.
Okay, so that would be like in the 60s.
Yeah, it was 1960 or something like that. I remember that time.
Okay, now, tell us about your work experiences as a young lady. What kind of jobs did you have?
Well, my first job was as a teenager. I worked, I kept a white child. I was a babysitter. I kept this white child, for about 2 summers, before I got out of school. And so then when I graduated, I didn't go back, because I had never heard about Islam and I didn't want to do that anymore. So my next job was as a waitress. I worked at this lunch counter down in Maine. And I forget what her name is something, but I worked at the coffee shop. It was called the Court National Coffee Shop or something like that. I worked there as a waitress for about 2 years, and people come in that worked in the office buildings around downtown. They would come in and lunch and just get up and leave, and then it was customary that they tip you a dime, for switches up and down. So I made, good tips, and then I had special customers, and we had different tables around, so we would only wait on the guests to come to
Excuse
the
me,
table.
I'm on just your mic. I just want to make sure we're picking up everything that you're expressing to us. Now, okay.
Yeah, as a waitress at this restaurant, it was just a lunch people that had to come in, maybe had 10, 30 minutes for lunch or something. They would come in and be seated, and whoever sat at your table, you waited on them. They got up and, what do you do? A dime usually, but the big tippers wouldn't be a quarter. So, but at the end of the day, we counted about tips, and we made pretty good. Sometimes we made about $10 extra for tips. And I don't know if there was a minimum wage at that time, but I think our salary was about $35 or something, and the tips were included in there because, the employee how the people tip, so at least I made about $40, $45 a week, at least. Yeah.
Now we'll get back to your initial Islamic experience. Okay? So that transition from church to the temple. Okay, how was that?
As I was saying, the way I first learned about Islam, and from Beale Street we moved to from Beale Street, no masjid, no name. It was just a gathering where Islam was taught,
That was on Beale Street.
That was on Beale Street also. But it was by a brother that had the